Hey, this is the national treasure, Nick Aldis, and you're listening to the All Night Long Wrestling Podcast.
Welcome back to another edition of the All Night Long Wrestling Podcast. This week, we are turning the clocks back and we are doing one of our favorite segments, and that is the 5 count. 3 ain't enough, man, I need 5. You know, now that Big E is over as a babyface and he's doing his own thing, I kind of wonder if he's ever going to go back to that theme music. I know he's looking for the Langston, but I wonder if the 5 count's ever going to come back. Anyway, regardless, here's what we're doing this week. I'm going to very briefly, because I know people have a lot of things to do, go over my 5 favorite surprise entrants in Royal Rumble history. It is the Royal Rumble season. It is what Michael Cole says is the beginning of the road to WrestleMania. The Royal Rumble has been one of my favorite pay-per-views for quite some time. And the reason being is that the Rumble itself kind of is what it is, right? You can only do so much in the ring. It's not about having a 35-star match in Tokyo Dome, yada, 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 whatever else they say about Meltzer. The Royal Rumble is about determining who is going to go on to main event or be in one of the main events at WrestleMania. Traditionally, the winner of the men's or women's Royal Rumble gets a title shot. Now that there are 47 different brands, you get a title shot of your choosing. I believe last year Charlotte Flair used that to get a title shot on the NXT women's title, which was against Rhea Ripley. So it's definitely a different time in professional wrestling. You know, traditionally, years past, you main evented WrestleMania. Now things are a little bit different, but the winner of the Royal Rumble it's a big thing. In 2020, this year, the pandemic year, whatever you want to call it, Drew McIntyre won the Royal Rumble, and he went on to superstardom. He had a great showing against Brock Lesnar, and then went on to take the title from Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania. But to me, it's not necessarily as much about that as it is about the surprises. There have been so many cool surprises throughout the years, whether it be guys returning from injury, guys coming back after not being in the company for so long, or just guys that have not been with WWE showing up there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you my 5 favorite Royal Rumble surprise entrants. It's tough for me to decide what order, but for number 5, I'm going to go with Booker T returning at the 2011 Royal Rumble. Booker T, regardless, he did not have a good showing. Let's be honest. He was in there for a minute and change, and he was eliminated by Mason Ryan, I believe it was. But he was gone from the WWE for 4 years at that point, and he got absolutely buried by Triple H. He spent a lot of time with Impact between 2007 and 2011, and him returning at the 2011 Royal Rumble kind of blew the roof off of the arena. He's got a great entrance song, which definitely helped the occasion. So for me, number 5 was Booker T coming back. Number 4 was Mr. Monday Night, Rob Van Dam. Rob Van Dam returned to Royal Rumble 2009. He spent a lot of time with the WWE from 2000, I think it was 2 up until 2007. Left for a little bit more than a year and came back at the Royal Rumble 2009. A lot of people felt like the WWE missed an opportunity with RVD. He definitely had the potential to, and the popularity to hold that title, but that was during the reign of terror from Triple H, so I don't see that happening. But RVD returning in 2009, the crowd went absolutely bananas, and a lot of people thought this was WWE making right for what they didn't do with RVD. It wasn't necessarily, because he was only there for a cup of coffee, and he just did the Royal Rumble and then went back to doing his other commitments. So while it was a cool surprise, it did not have any lasting effects, but to see Rob Van Dam get that response was just awesome. The top 3 are tough. Let's see. Number 3, I'm going to go with Edge returning at the 2020 Royal Rumble this year. There was some scuttlebutt apparently beforehand. I do my best to keep out of the social media bubble leading up to the Royal Rumble because I'm a big fan of surprises. But watching Edge return after 8 years on the shelf, 7 years with a career-ending neck injury was amazing. He came back from what a lot of people didn't think was possible. So, and Edge came back. He came back in great shape. He looked like a Viking. He was on the show Vikings. Had a giant burly beard, but it's a good thing that we got the crowd reaction for Edge, because if it would have happened a couple months later during the COVID era, there would have been no reaction, and the reaction really made that. So for number 3 was Edge returning at the 2020 Royal Rumble. Number 2 was John Cena returning at the 2008 Royal Rumble at Madison Square Garden. This was so surprising because John Cena was out with, I think it was either a torn pec or a torn bicep. I'm pretty sure it was a torn pec. And he was supposed to be out for a year. And the guy is superhuman, and he returned in, I think it was 6 to 7 months early. And the place, listen, in 2008, 2009, New York was still, 2008. New York was very anti-Cena for a lot of reasons. A, he was the babyface everybody loved, but B, he was from Massachusetts. And if you're from New York, you kind of hate everything from Massachusetts based on principle. But Cena definitely got the positive reaction, and I think it was more surprise than anything. When his music hit, he came in at number 30. The place went absolutely insane. He held that momentum, and he actually won the 2008 Royal Rumble. And that was just, to have a surprise entrant win the Rumble, I think it was really cool. So for me, number 2 was John Cena returning at the Royal Rumble 2008. And for me, the number 1 surprise Royal Rumble moment of all time was the phenomenal one, AJ Styles debuting at the Royal Rumble 2016. It literally got me out of my chair. I remember where I was when I was watching it. The music hit, nobody knew who it was, and out walks the greatest wrestler on the planet to the delight and the surprise of almost the entire arena. And for AJ to get that kind of reaction, never being not spending a lot of time in the WWE. I know he had a couple of tryout matches on Velocity and shit like that, but for the most part, AJ Styles was a Ring of Honor, TNA Impact Wrestling, New Japan Pro Wrestling wrestler. And for AJ to get that kind of debut was amazing. His entrance music was great. The way the crowd reacted was phenomenal. Phenomenal. However, getting eliminated by Roman Reigns was probably the worst possible outcome. Whoever thought that was a good idea should... you're trying to get Roman Reigns over as a babyface. He's struggling. You're shoving him down people's throats. And you debut AJ Styles and have Roman throw him out. That doesn't make Roman look strong. That makes people hate Roman. But AJ was definitely able to get past that, sustain momentum, and have what it will absolutely be a Hall of Fame career in the WWE. So that is my 5-count top 5 Royal Rumble surprise entrance. I don't know what's in store this year, but I'm looking forward to it. That's it for a very special edition of the All Night Long Wrestling Podcast. I am the Enforcer. Follow us at All Night Long WP everywhere you look on social media, and we are tapping out.